right, so you and your partner have wrapped up Physical Systems 1. We'll be doing something with that in class the next time I see you. But now I want to actually use those articles you've been hunting for, either in Flipboard or outside websites, depending on what worked for you. So at this point, I need your iPads flipped over. I want you watching and listening to what I have to say about the physics in the news, and then we'll go out and we'll get this document. So again, your iPads should be flipped over at this point. So one of my goals for this class, remember, is that physics is all around us, and recognizing that it's in the current events all the time. We see it in the news, we read it in the paper, we see things on the internet. You've already located multiple current events. And what I asked you to do was to narrow it down to one. Now, you might have decided to use one of your articles that you found from an outside website, from any of the journals that are listed on the board. Or you might have found one in Flipboard. It might have been one you dropped into Flipboard, or it might have been somebody else's. That doesn't matter to me as long as you've narrowed it down to one, and one that's interesting that you think you can make some good connections for. Now, again, this is a current event assignment. So all of your articles need to have no older than 3 months old, okay? Now, in order to do this physics in the news assignment, it's going to have multiple goals. One of them is connecting energy to your topic. The second goal, though, is technical writing. So I'm going to explain how this is going to fit together. So how do you get started? The first thing that you're going to do is, which you probably should have already done, is you browse the collection of articles, either gathered in the class magazine or in your own collection, depending on what was working for you. Next, you're going to decide on one. Again, you should have already done these two things. You found a current event article that's related to energy. Now this moves on to the next part of the assignment. You're going to document the title of the article and the source of the article, source, journal, website, whatever that is. That way when I go back to find these articles, it'll be easy for me to find. And then the written part. The written part is going to involve two things. It's going to involve a summary, and it's going to involve a reaction. And again, remember that my goal is not only energy, but also technical writing styles, right? So you're going to get a lot of flexibility and choice on how you give me that summary and reaction. So I'll get to that in a minute. So a summary, what does that include? First, it needs to have some kind of description of what the article was about. All right, so tell me what the article is about. If I wasn't able to read the whole thing, then that's what that summary is going to be. It must be thorough, detailed, so I can read your summary and I can get a good knowledge of what happened. And then also, this is where your connection to energy occurs. You're going to include how the article relates to our physics unit on energy. Now, you might find more than one connection too. So which energies does the article connect with, and how? So when you look at your foldable, how can you connect to all the different energies that we've been learning about? So that's the summary section. The second section is going to be a reaction, and this is really where the higher level thinking occurs. All right? So this is what's going to allow me to see what depth of your thinking is at this point. Are you honors level thinking, or do you need some help with that? And this is what the reaction will help reveal. So the first thing is, the reaction is going to include any questions you still have, any reaction or questions you have after reading it. So oftentimes when I read something, I then say, I wonder what, I don't understand this, and I have some questions. That reaction must be thorough and detailed, so I should be able to really get a feel on the depth of your thinking. I want you to react on, what do you find that was interesting? Okay? What do you find that was interesting or surprising? Or even, what kind of connections do you make to other topics? Maybe it's something you learned last year or the year before that. Maybe it's something that you're experiencing right now in your life, not in school, but maybe you're experiencing in your life. And then also include an I wonder. Okay? After reading this, where does your brain take you? That's the exciting part. That's the part that really shows me how deep of a thinker you really are. So essentially, this assignment incorporates two things, a summary and a reaction, all geared around your current event. Now, here's where the choice comes in, and this is where I'm really excited to see what you want to do. Remember that there are some elements of good technical writing, and one is it always targets a very specific audience. Who do you want your audience to be? The audience could be me as the teacher, but the audience could be a variety of other sources, and that's okay. Technical writing communicates very precisely, right? So it's a kind of a logical, sequential sort of communication style, but it can be funny and it can be creative. So I don't want you to think this is a boring, dry, written paper. You can really put some creativity involved in this. Remember that it's going to formulate thoughts logically and sequentially, and then it's going to demonstrate good design. Okay? Good design, good color choices. This is all going to be done electronic. So you have a lot of tools at your disposal, from Notability to other things. Now, what kind of things could you do for your technical writing piece? Okay? You could make an infographic. Okay? If you're not sure what those are, go in and look them up. You could make it as an advertisement. So it could be advertising for the company connected to the article that you wrote. You could make a cartoon. You could do a newsletter, like it could be a business newsletter, or it could be a newsletter to the community. It could simply be a formal letter. Maybe it is a letter to a congressman or something like that, or a congresswoman. It could be some other kind of graphic organizer that you'd like to use, and that's okay. It could be a written paper. Okay? Once again, it's a little lower on the creativity side, but that definitely is something that could be done. The only thing that I am not allowing this time for this particular assignment is no videos are allowed. We will be doing videos for our Bottle Battle Challenge. So for this, I want it to be some kind of digital product that's not a video and that's not a recording. Okay? Now, if you take important things to keep in mind, and one of them is all of these things are going to be submitted electronically. All right? They're all going to be electronically. So what that means is I would highly recommend creating it on your iPad. Okay? That's where I would create it. Now, as a backup, if you really, really, really want to draw an amazing cartoon, but you've got to do everything by hand first, another option is you could actually take a picture of it and then submit it electronically as well. So it will be submitted electronically. I will not be collecting paper copies of any of this. Now, I always like to celebrate great work, and so I'm going to be looking through all these student examples that you turn in, and I will be choosing them to display either in the hallway classroom, or also I'll tweet it out as some amazing products that happen in my honors physics classes. Okay? Now, again, you get a lot of choice on how you do this. What you do is pretty much the same, summary and reaction, but how you do it is your choice. Okay? Now, again, I want to see the depth of your thinking. What kind of honors quality work are you giving me? Now, this next page is going to show you just how I'm going to score it. So this is a common rubric. You can read through it. So we've got title and source is properly indicated. Okay. The next thing is your article choice was an outstanding example of energy, and it demonstrates extreme thought in your selection. Take your time to select an article that you really are passionate about. Is the writing that you give me appropriate for an honors physics student? Or did you not paraphrase well? Or did you quote too much? Remember, plagiarism is something to always keep in mind. Is the assignment an outstanding example of technical writing? Remember, these are the qualities of technical writing: clear, precise language, formulate thoughts sequentially and logically, targets a specific audience. But remember, it's okay. I want it to be colorful. I want it to be creative. It can have humor in it, all right? It doesn't have to be boring. And then the last thing is, where are you as far as giving me honors quality work? Okay, a wow means, oh my gosh, you are at my level. Because you've never had an honors science class, you don't know what honors quality work is based on a scoring guide. So this is also going to help you do that. This total assignment is going to be 20 points. Now, when you turn in your article, in your assignment, you're going to be, again, indicating what is the title, what is the source, whether or not you got it from Flipboard. And again, it doesn't matter to me whether you got it from Flipboard, but you'll tell me where you got the article. And then your electronic copy can be made right here. Now, if you wanted to make it on an outside program and then bring it in, that's also a possibility. But some people may just want to make it in this big, big space that is the third and fourth page of your Notability document. Okay? So this will be due next class. You are going to have time right now to start that process. And remember, by starting the process, that means you're deciding on an article and then going from there. So if you're not sure how to get started, it's right back here on that first page. So at this point, you want to open your homework tab in Notability. You want to go out to day 6 and you want to grab the Physics in the News assignment and you want to shoot it to the homework tab. When you shoot it to your homework tab, you will get 3 pages. 1, 2, 3. Now, feel free to add a 4th page in Notability, and that's where you can actually start creating your own technical writing assignment. Again, if you decide to use an outside source, that's fine, but remember, no videos. We will be making videos for our next assignment, but this time I just want to see what you can do with some of the visuals for technical writing. Good luck. Have fun with this. Show me your creativity.